I am a licensed professional clinical counselor. I'm a family therapist that works with all kinds of really heartbreaking situations, and the worst of those usually involve addiction. I was talking to a woman the other day, and she had just discovered that her husband was in a lot of trouble, that he had actually racked up like 7 credit cards of $100,000 debt. He had made this bad business deal and they had reported him to the police, and he hadn't even been working for a year and a half or 2 years or something like that. And she was just finding out about this, and it rocked her world. She was devastated. She was scared. She didn't know what she was going to do with her kids, how they were going to survive, didn't know what was next. And, you know, as she told me more about the story, she had known that he was an alcoholic and had been abusing drugs for just about since they got married. But she always thought he had it under control. She always hoped he had it under control. She was always believing him when he said that everything was okay and he was going to take care of things. Well, now she was at a point where obviously that wasn't true. And I hear stories like that all the time. I wanted to make a video and talk about denial, because that's a real topic that I had to explain to this woman, this concept of denial and addiction. It's different than denial for normal people. Like, we just don't want to face a situation, or we just want to avoid that we have to deal with something tough. Denial with addicts is a totally different thing. One of the acronyms that I like about denial that really just sums it up well is "don't even know I am lying." Because that's really what it is. I mean, addiction is one of the worst human experiences that someone can go through. To have done something over and over and over to the point where you have lost control. You cannot control your actions anymore. You've lost your self-respect. You have lost the people around you. You have lost even control of your body and your health. And it's just a horrible place to be in. If you could just put yourself there for a moment, to feel like crap all the time and to live a life that is just cruddy all the time, and still be compelled to go back and do the same thing over and over when you know that is like the worst thing for you and for everyone around you, that you are screwing up your life. That is a horrible trap to be in. And you just can't be in that behavior and that kind of addiction with a right mind. And what I mean by that is, you have to start rationalizing. You have to start justifying. You have to start telling yourself lies that you actually believe, so that you can keep doing the same thing that you can do without completely hating yourself. But the more that goes on, the more far-fetched it gets, the more it becomes away from reality, and the more distorted your thinking has to be able to maintain some sort of sanity in the midst of insanity, if that makes sense. So what happens with someone who is a hardcore addict is they actually start believing their own lies. They start believing this false reality that they have created for themselves. You know, early in my career, I actually worked in an inpatient residential rehab facility for young adult males. And one thing that I quickly learned is that about 95% of whatever came out of their mouth was just not true. You just didn't believe it because they were thinking out of this distorted reality. And I noticed some of my coworkers, they would get so angry and so infuriated and so upset with the fact that they were being lied to by these guys that they would actually treat them disrespectfully, and they just kind of missed the whole point. And I am in no way justifying their behavior. I mean, it is wrong. It is even immoral. It's not healthy. It doesn't work for them. They are flat out lying, and it is destructive. There was nothing good about it, but you got to understand that in their reality, they have created this world where they really believe the crap that they are saying. That is how unhealthy they are. Now, denial looks pretty ridiculous when you're in a healthy environment, when you're around other people who aren't going to buy your BS. They are going to see it for what it is, they're going to call it what it is, and they're going to stay in reality. But a lot of times in an addictive home, you have another concept. You have a person who is an enabler. And an enabler and someone who is a denier, those go hand in hand. They complement each other really well, because an enabler is a person who wants to believe the denial. They want to believe it's true. They want to believe that everything is going to be okay. They want to believe that this time it's going to work. So enablers, not only do they not help the person who is in denial. They enable it. They make it stronger. They allow it to continue to go on. And you have this relationship in addictive homes where someone is in this false reality and someone else is in a completely different false reality, hoping that things are going to get better. But here's the thing. If you are in that situation, if you are living with an addicted person, and just, be real for a moment. Look around, look at the behavior, look at what is happening. When you know in your heart that this person is addicted, they need help. It's not going to change until they get help. And some people might get mad at me for saying this, but you are not the person to give them that help. You are wrapped up in this as well. You need to take care of yourself and stop buying into the denial. And stop taking it so personally. I know that might be hard to understand, but it's not just about you. That person really is in a bad place and they're not thinking right, and they are going to walk over, they're going to violate every boundary around them to maintain their denial, to maintain their addiction, and their sense of self-worth. As messed up as that is, because it ultimately doesn't work, that's what they're trying to do. So they're going to walk right over you. Even though they love you, even though they care about you, even though you love and care about them, you have to not play that game anymore. You've got to be able to back away from that and know that that person needs help. Now, that's a tough position to be in, so I feel compelled to throw out a couple of things that can help. I love Al-Anon. It is a self-help group. It is a support group for family members who are dealing with someone who is in addiction. They really help you understand the components of it and what is going on and how to help yourself first and then to help that other person. If you go to a church that has a Celebrate Recovery group, those are excellent groups as well. And reaching out to people in the community who know about addictions, maybe a community mental health, a recovery center, something like that, just reaching out and saying, hey, I need some direction on what to do here. There is help out there, but you gotta seek it. I hope that helped out. It's actually a pretty big concept, and I'm trying to fit it into a little video, but I just wanted to put that out there because I believe somebody out there needs to hear that, and there it is. So I hope that helped you out, and if it did, or if you heard that and you know someone that needs to listen to it, please share it. That's the only reason I'm doing this, is to put some value out there to help some people out. Thanks, guys. Take care, and feel free to comment in the comments below, or you can send me a message through my website, jonathanleague.com, and I can answer any other questions that you might have. Thank you. You guys take care. I'll talk to you soon.